keyboard shortcuts for moving the playhead and playing a clip or a sequence. So we're going to be using the viewer and the timeline for these shortcuts. So let's begin. There's several shortcuts for taking the playhead to the head of a sequence and the end of a sequence. So the first two we're going to go through are on the full Macintosh keyboard. So I'm just going to build a quick sequence within my timeline. 4 clips. Move them all over. So to go to the head of a sequence, the key for that is home on a full keyboard. And the same thing for the end of the sequence, you just hit the end key, which are both on the full keyboard for Macintosh keyboard. For a laptop, the two shortcuts are function left and function right. So now we're going to go into the viewer using our arrow keys as the shortcuts. So the first is the down arrow. The down arrow moves the playhead forward in the viewer to the end of the clip or to the next edit point. So if I press down, it goes to the end of the clip. And if I were to press up, it goes to the head of the clip. So and that's without any in and out points. If I had an in point and out point, if I press up, it goes to the first in point. If I press up again, it goes to the beginning of the clip or the head. And if I were to press down, it goes back to the in point. Press down again, it goes to the out point that I set. And again, I can press down and it goes to the end of the clip. So for left and right, the left arrow moves the playhead 1 frame to the left. That's 1 frame. And through the 30 frames that are in each second. So the right key, of course, goes 1 frame to the right. And this works for the viewer and the timeline. I can go 1 frame over to the left and 1 frame and a couple frames to the right, one at a time. And the up and down keys also have functions inside the timeline. Going up goes to the beginning of the clip, to where the edit point is. And going up again goes to the next clip, at the head of the next clip. And going down, the down key takes your playhead to the end of the clip, and so forth. So now we're moving to the focus of 3 essential keys in Final Cut that are used within the viewer and the timeline. So let's go ahead and activate our viewer. And the 3 keys are J, K, and L. They each serve a different function. L moves the playhead or sequence forward in the viewer or the timeline. So I'm going to go ahead and press L.
What does this word represent?
Well, this
And it simply plays the clip. So I can also repeatedly press L,
particular board here is something
which
we
makes it
started
go faster.
Is our heart and soul. We have
And K stops it from playing. Or you can just play and
7,
stop.
8 sequences really if you
That was both for, again, for the viewer and timeline. Now J plays a sequence or clip backwards.
feelers is no is eating of us he was
Again, you can repeatedly tap it to go at a faster speed. So these clips can also be used in conjunction with each other. So if you press K and L at the same time, it plays the clip forward in slow motion. And you can see that because his voice sounds insanely weird. Same thing for J, you can hold K and J and it'll play the clip backwards in slow motion. The next shortcuts moves the playhead 1 frame to the right and 1 frame to the left. So holding K and tapping L will move the playhead 1 frame to the right. So to move 1 frame to the left, you continue to hold K and tap J. Go 1 frame at a time to the left, just backwards. The last shortcut is for playing a clip or a sequence backwards. This is done by pressing Shift and Spacebar.
Nah.
And this plays the clip
Well, you
backwards
did
from wherever the playhead may be.
Because we believe it.
So for example, in the timeline, we're at the end of the sequence, I would press Shift, Spacebar. It plays it backwards.